Hank Stram, who was the winning coach in the first Super Bowl played in New Orleans, the Kansas City Chiefs upsetting the Minnesota Vikings. And Coach, thank you very much for joining us. And that was a game, to me, was the signature game in Super Bowl history, simply because it gave the AFL, and it was the last AFL game, an identity, hey, that they were ever, they deserve every bit to stand shoulder to shoulder with the NFL.
Yeah, well, that's a good observation, Buddy, because, everybody called us the Mickey Mouse League and all kinds of stuff, And and then they didn't even give the Jets the kind of credit they deserved by winning the Super Bowl III. They won the game, and they said it was a fluke, and so as a result, we felt very proud to be able to come in there, and we were a 24-point underdog, according to Jimmy the Greek, and we wound up winning the game, and so it was a great. It endorsed what we felt about solidifying and making people realize that our league was on an equal basis with the National Football League.
Coach, I don't know about Jimmy the Greek, but actually in reality, you all was between a 12 and 13-point underdog, which is it's a double-digit underdog, but it wasn't 24. Let me ask you, Hank Stram now, of course, lives across the lake and stayed in the New Orleans community after coaching the New Orleans Saints, and he's got a system on handicapping Super Bowl games that's been very successful. Hank, this is a game that you got a 14-point favorite. You got some people who think it's going to be a blowout. You got others who think it's going to be a competitive game, which I particularly think. What is your system show, and kind of recap it for us and tell us what the conclusion is?
Well, I was kind of flabbergasted because before I put the chart together, it looked like that it would be very, very difficult for New England to win the game, And then when I broke it down into categories, there are 74 categories altogether, and it goes on offense and defense. And I was kind of overwhelmed to think, after looking at the whole thing and checking all the pluses and all the minuses and all that kind of stuff, to quickly give it to you. On offense, the Patriots have 19 pluses, okay? And on the other side of the ball, the Rams have plus 16 pluses, okay? On defense, the New England team has 18 pluses, so 18 and 19 makes it a plus 37 for the two categories. On the other side, there's only there's plus 6 for the Rams on defense, and so they got 16 up above, 6 there, so their score is plus 22.
Well, what you're saying, Hank, is that on your system, you give New England a real chance to win the game straight up.
Right. That's exactly right. It's plus 37 to plus 22. And of course, the other thing you got to take into consideration is, the Raiders, like Al Davis says, the Raiders, everybody expected them to win that game in New England, and they beat the Raiders. It was an unusual call at the end, but they won the game. And then last week, Pittsburgh was heavily favored to beat New England again, and they wound up beating them too.
Well, I tell you what, New England, since they lost the first 2 games of the season, they 12-3-1 against the point spread in the last 16 games, 13-3 straight up. So that's a good live underdog. Hey, I'm encouraged now that your system, which I know has had a lot of success, sort of indicates not only will it be a competitive game, but we could have a major upset.
Well, it could be, very definitely. I think it's going to be, it could be a taffy pull, a lot closer game than what they indicate, because going into the game, the bettors or whoever put that together, they say they're a 14-point favorite. So, but I really think it's going to be a lot better game than that, and according to the numbers now, I think that no question about the fact that New England's got a great chance to win the game.
Coach, you going to be in the press box Sunday?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, I'm going to miss you, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be up there.
Okay.
No. I've got some things I got to do before the game, a couple of speaking engagements and stuff, but I'm just going to watch it on television.
Hank, thank you very much for spending time with us, and if your system's as good as it's been in the past, they're in for a big surprise on Sunday.
Okay, well, always great to talk to you, buddy.
Coach, thank you very much, sir.
Okay, pal.
All right, Hank Stram, I guarantee you credit for this area. Lives over the North Shore and a fine man.